Hello everyone, it's Ernie live from the opening night cast party of Les Miserables. We are thrilled to be here. We're thrilled you're watching. Remember, this is interactive Facebook, so we want you to give your comments and questions down below. And you know who's going to help us with that? Walt's here. Hello, Walt.
Hello, Ernie.
Did you forget who I was?
No, last time I said hello, Walt, though, but I couldn't say it this time. You just said hello.
So you saw Les Mis with me. What did you think?
I loved it. It was really good.
Yeah, well, you know what? We've got a treat for not just you, not just me, but for all of you. We actually have two of the stars. I think of them as the young hunks in the show. They are here with us. It's Marius and Angelos.
Angelos.
It is
Close.
Joshua Grosso and Matt Shingledecker.
Hello.
They are both in the
Hello.
show. They have brought the show here to Houston. We're thrilled to have them here. And we're going to get to talk with them. But we want your questions and comments, so leave them below, and Walt will be following along and tell us all about it. Right, Walt?
Yes, Dennis Cass already said hello. Hello, Dennis.
Hello, Dennis.
We're
Hi,
all
Dennis.
saying hello to Dennis. Okay, briefly,
It's already
for the few
ready.
people out there who don't know the plot of the show, can you give the plot of Les Mis?
Okay. Well,
Act
we're
one, go.
gonna tag team. Act one. So here we
Okay,
go.
we're timing him.
We have Jean Valjean. He's a convict who breaks his parole, who's in jail for 15
Oh,
years.
we're gonna mime
around
it
there.
out.
We're gonna
Okay,
mime
keep
it out too. It's a good thing we have the alcohol. And then from there, he meets this bishop who turns his life around, and from there he decides to do good in his life. He becomes a mayor, right, of this of this town, and he owns this factory. And then he meets Fantine. You know, Fantine. She has great hair. And then she, through a series of events, is gonna die, and then he just pledges to take her daughter as his ward, which is Cosette. We then fast forward years and years and years ahead, and then we meet us, the student revolutionaries, and then from there, I fall in love with Cosette, you know, as you do, love at first sight, and then beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, and then we basically are at a crossroads. We either fight or we run, and I decide to fight. And then
An
we go into
honorable
Act
man.
2.
All right, take it. Act two.
Act 2. That was like 45 seconds.
Yeah, that was good. So we're in 1832 now, and we
Oh, now
follow
we're getting
a
really
known
specific.
revolution called the June Rebellion, where my character leads a revolution for the betterment of men and fails miserably, sadly. Not the best one that has ever been fought, that's for sure. And then Marius survives the battle, though. He and Valjean are the only two people who survived our barricade. And then they get married. Marius gets married to Cosette. By this point in the show, 3 hours later and many years later, Valjean is an old man. And he passes away and passes his story on to his ward, Cosette and Marius. And we sing a pretty song called the Do You Hear the People Sing Reprise. And a bunch of ghosts walk down stage, and then we bow.
I think in your description of the show, more was done after Jean Valjean died than the whole second act.
That's true. Yeah, that's
the way you
right.
described it. Anyway, next question.
Oh, there's no question.
What are all
Oh,
those
wait.
comments?
Wait. Erica Hibbard Clark says, my fave. Thanks, Erica.
Thanks, Erica.
And she said the song at the end is amazing.
Yeah. Oh, good. Thank
That's
you very
cool.
much.
So we were talking earlier about how long this show has been around, pretty much beyond your whole lives for you two. And I'm curious, when did you first become aware of this?
I was a musical theater nerd as a kid, and I remember actually the guy who played Enjolras. I would listen to that cast album and just think, I want to sound like that one day. I remember thinking,
Really?
that guy's
That
voice
character?
is incredible. That character, I've always wanted to play that character. I never wanted to play Marius. I thought Marius was yeah. We'll just stop it right there. But how about you? Got the beat.
It's always been at the foreground of my life. It's always there. The first time I actually saw Les Mis was the movie version of it, and it wasn't even the most recent movie version of it. It was the one with Liam Neeson and Jeffrey Rush. Like that was the one that I saw first. I had the video cassette tape, you know, and then I watched that, and then I watched the movie version. Then through like a series of events, you know, and everybody knows the songs, you know, Bring 'Em Home and I Dream the Dream and all that. And then, through a series of events, I auditioned for this, and after a few months, I was like, oh, I guess, like I really truly then started to not even, I've always appreciated the show, but really just learn in depth about the show, and I'm in it. So it's two different perspectives, and then I saw Andras's part, and I went, wow, I don't know why I follow him. No idea why I follow that guy.
So then another question for you. Most people, when they think of Les Mis, they think of the rotating stage.
Yeah.
That's the old production.
Yeah.
You guys have updated a new production, but it's the backdrops, the images, the paintings are actually by Victor Hugo, correct?
Yeah. Well, we this one specifically, we were going for a more, you could say, cinematic feel to the whole production. But yeah, those backdrops, to kind of have a very intimate meaning to the entire show, because it's just not some random, pieces of art that you see up there. They're actually some are his pieces and some are inspired by some of the things that he drew. So everything is just connected. Let's see what's going on.
Well, Erica Hibbard's really into us.
We love you, Erica.
We love you, Erica.
Thanks for being there with us.
Hey. Jerry Jaggers gave us a thumbs up.
Thank you, Jerry.
Erica Hibbard thinks that she's very lucky to get tickets. She said that her first time seeing the movie was also the one with Liam Neeson. It was great.
Okay.
You see?
Dennis says a martini, a Cosmo, and...
All right, hold on. No, I'm going to tell you guys all, these are mocktails. There's no liquor in any of these. They are just made up to look really fancy. That's why they're still there. If they were real, we'd have drank them by now. Talking about movie versions, have you ever seen, I think it was 1987-ish maybe, Claude Lelouch, the French film director who did A Man and a Woman, did a version of Les Mis, which is amazing. If you can find it, watch it.
Movie night.
Movie night.
Yeah.
Movie night.
No.
Movie night.
Erica Hibbard, Clark,
Erica knows
she listened to the Audible book. It's translated by Julie Rose.
Okay.
Thinks it's amazing.
Well, we're happy you did.
You should come here.
I know.
You should just come here, Erica.
There
Where
is...
are you? She was at the show tonight. Where are you, Erica?
So anyway,
There
there's a
she is.
party going on behind us, so I know I've got to let you guys go pretty quickly. But I'm curious, other roles you've played that you love?
Oh,
Because actually, we have a long history together that you know nothing about.
do we?
Spring Awakening.
I do remember Spring. Yeah, so the last time I was in Houston doing a show, I was in Spring Awakening, which was my first big professional adventure.
Well, I actually went to San Francisco to watch you guys
That was
opening
our
night
open.
of the tour.
Yeah.
And we did an interview with your producer, and we were there for that. And so I kind of felt like I
That
watched
was a
your...
decade ago.
No, really?
That way, yes.
Can't you tell?
That's not blonde, that's gray hair.
It's just white.
Yeah.
They shine a special light on it, and that's what makes it look
It's a filter on.
God, that was a decade ago.
a decade ago. Yeah. So I did Spring Awakening here and played Georg. I don't know if anybody is really familiar with any of those German names, but that's the role I played. If you know the soundtrack, he sings Touch Me. Skylar Aston was the original cast member of that. And then I got to do Rent off Broadway as Roger, which was very exciting. Tony in West Side Story on Broadway, and Fiyero in Wicked on Broadway. So I've had a super blessed career, and it's actually exciting. The reason I poked fun at the whole Marius thing is because I've always played love interests, always. And so it was a really nice thing to get to play somebody who didn't just care about that.
Well, we've got to get Josh's answer, but quickly.
Back to Erica.
Erica,
Hey,
go.
Erica.
She's co-hosting tonight.
She wasn't actually at the show. She's home right now.
she's home.
She'll be here Thursday night.
Great.
Well,
And
so will
she
we.
wants to know if you were like 12 when you did Spring Awakenings.
Was I 12 when I did Spring Awakening? I was a little older than 12.
I was 12, though. I was 12 when he did Spring
Okay,
Awakening.
Josh,
Probably
quickly before
true.
you go, favorite other roles?
Favorite other role? I don't know. I really love Usnavi. I did Usnavi in the Heights. That was a lot of fun. Fabrizio and Light in the Piazza.
I'm curious, watching the show tonight, I was wondering this. Pop singing today, so many people are trained to sing pop songs a different way of presenting, a different way of understanding a lyric in a show, and show music is different. As we move into this next generation, are people still knowing how to deliver show tunes like you guys are? It seems that is almost becoming a novelty in the way people sing and deliver a clear lyric.
I've never gotten that question before. That's a good question. I think so. I think it's still. I think there is still a technique, and I think the cool thing about this art is that it's always, especially with musical theater, it's always changing. So it's not. There's no specific formula for a musical necessarily that works or doesn't work. You just have to go ahead and try it, and I think the way that you convey it, either singing or acting it, is the same way. You know, it's like you could just do Les Mis, and then what, like 30 years, almost 35 years later, you have something like Hamilton, which is like.
Well, when you say In the Heights, and I think you as a person have a singing style that's you.
Right.
Then you're doing In the Heights, which has a very different style than Les Mis.
Right.
And yet you fit in these, especially tonight, because I didn't see your In the Heights, but I did see your Les Mis. It's perfectly placed.
Good.
And so
That's
I wonder about style and understanding and creation of a part.
That's actually one of the joys of music theater, I think, because I know Josh shares this sentiments, but I think we consider ourselves actors first. And the beauty of doing shows with different vocal stylings is that you get to play with all of those different styles. I mean, In the Heights, totally different from Les Mis. West Side Story, kind of similar to Les Mis, but Rent, very different. I mean, I was like rock screaming, like 90s music, you know what I mean? And Spring Awakening, folk rock, like Wicked is more of a pop feel. And that's such a joy to try to dig into those certain styles and try to figure out how do they inform the character. Yeah.
Well, everyone around me is telling me you guys have to go. Even if you don't know it, everybody else.
We don't know it. We're
Do you have any? Oh, well,
They want to feed us so
One more.
Erica wants
Oh, it's Eric.
Erica, go Erica.
Our number one fan.
We're here for you.
Erica said that her hubby did musical theater. It's always been her dream, and she thinks y'all are awesome, and best of luck to you on the tour.
Thank you.
Erica.
We'll
You know,
see you
Erica,
Thursday.
I don't know you, but I know them so far a tiny bit, and I think they're awesome too. Thank you guys so much for doing this. They are here in town with Les Mis at the Hobby Center. It's Broadway across America, and we are so thrilled to have Broadway at the Hobby and a great show like this to start our new season. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back later. Thank you two for hanging out with us.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
And of course, Walt, thank you for being the voice of Erica tonight.
Well, thank you, Ernie, and thank you, Erica.
We'll see you next time.
Shout out to
Bye-bye.
Erica.